Hi there, it's Chris with eVelocityLabs. Today we're going to look at bill groups and how you can bill clients differently than your default bill group. Let's take a look. So the first thing we want to do is go to our billing configuration, and I'll open this page up so we can see how we're set up currently. And there are two different bill groups set up. The first is the default bill group, as notated by the default group toggle being turned on, and it will sync to a managed backup agreement type. And the storage product is ins-storage-org. And we have another bill group that we're going to use for this demonstration that shows how to apply billing to a client specifically. And I just named that client level bill group. It is largely the same. It's going to still sync to a managed backup agreement type, but in this case there's a product that will sync to an edition that is in ConnectWise, and the edition's a little bit different. It's notated by the dash client on the end, so we can see when we do this syncing that it syncs to the right edition. You can use the same technique to have a client that bills to completely different agreement types as well. Today we're focused on the edition that it will sync to. Just keep in mind any of these settings can be customized for the bill group and then applied to a client. And with that out of the way, let's take a look at our client currently. Okay, so both editions have a quantity of 0, and what will happen right now, let's take a look at the client. And so we only have one client right now in the system, but it is VenomWorks, and if I open this client up, the field we want to look at is called item level billing, and if this is checked like we have it now, it will use this client level bill group instead of the default bill group. So for this demo, let's remove this for now. We'll come back and put that back on later. And so what's going to happen, since there is nothing applied to that client, it'll use the default bill group for all clients, which is this one, and it will update the quantity on the -org edition only. So here we go, and we can see that's currently 0. So I will kick off billing processing in the background here through the magic of editing. Momentarily I'll be back and we'll see that the update has taken place. Okay, and just like that, billing processing has completed. We're back at our agreement. I will hit search and it should update these numbers. And if everything went according to plan, we had this applied to the default billing group, and so only this -org edition should be updated, and the other will remain untouched because it's not applied anywhere in the billing configuration. And let's hit search and see what we have. Okay, perfect. So the quantity is showing at 42, and we can see it was just updated at 4:14. Actually, it just finished. So that's exactly what we wanted to see. What I'll do is I'll zero this out. We will make the change and we'll come back and run it applied at the client level. And so with that out of the way, let's look at our client. We know we've got this other bill group called client level bill group, but currently it's not a default, so it doesn't automatically try to run against all clients, and it's not applied anywhere. Let's go to our client. We'll open up the item level billing and we'll select this client level bill group that we had created, which is going to sync to the dash client edition that we created. And again, keep in mind, anything you can configure here can be applied at the client level. So whatever changes that we make carry over with the bill group to that specific client. And I have the client open now, and let's bring them up. So from here, we want to go to the item level billing checkbox. It opens up this little area, and I have the two options. I will select client level bill group. I will hit save changes. And now that that's in place, we're going to kick off processing in the background again. We'll make sure that the other edition updates, and that will demonstrate that the default is no longer in use on this client, but it is instead using the bill group that was applied at the client level. And Boom, processing's complete. We've given it some time to run in the background. And let's make sure that what's synced over this time is correct. We had made a change at the client level to apply a specific bill group to our client Venomworks. And when the billing takes place, instead of using that default bill group that we had configured before, it is we have applied that bill group to the client. And because it's applied at the client level, it will override the default group. And in this case, all that we had changed in our build group was the fact that it would, instead of syncing to the ins-storage-org, it would instead sync the quantities to the ins-storage-client. So let's see if that's what happened. And we can see it worked exactly as expected. So this is good news. This gives you a lot of flexibility in how you bill your clients. You can bill them all individually if you want. And by having a default bill group that automatically applies each time you add a client into the system, it's automatically going to carry over some default settings. And if it can bill for that client, it will. This keeps you from having to manually go into every client that you add and set up some sort of billing configuration for them. So it gives you a lot of flexibility, and it should make your life a lot easier when it comes to billing. I hope you learned a lot today. This is Chris with eVelocityLabs. Have a great day.